Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV back with another video, and sorry if I take pauses, sorry if I, drink my water during this video. I'm probably gonna edit that out. I have a sore throat, and it fucking sucks. I don't think I'm like sick necessarily. I think I just have a sore throat. Yeah, make like gay jokes all you want, but
what?
I just got off work. I know I look like shit, but we have NFL Week 17. We're going to talk about all the close games. None of the games on Christmas were good, so we're not going to cover those, but we're going to get through all of the other good action. Let's just go. Not a good game, but a competitive one. We need to talk about the Seahawks and the Bears. Tariq Woolen's late interception seals the win as the Seahawks beat the struggling Bears by 3 to boost their playoff hopes. Obviously, that's a team that's kind of on the bubble, and that's one of those teams you look at the playoff rules, and people are kind of fucking pissed about it because, they should be a playoff team over somebody like the Falcons, but it just doesn't turn out that way. Or even the Buccaneers. I don't know. It's very weird. The Seattle Seahawks made just enough plays to boost their fading playoff hopes by beating the struggling Chicago Bears. Obviously, this is a perfect point in the season for them to play a team like the Bears. I don't know, man. Do they deserve to be in the playoffs? I don't really know. Geno Smith, not a bad game, 17 for 23. This is a very concerning performance for a team that still has hope to make the playoffs. Caleb Williams throwing 16 for 28. He did throw an interception, though. Not a whole lot this game. Noah Fant had 4 catches for 43 yards, but I think I'm going to leave it off as that. Not much going on here. Pretty shitty game, 3 field goals. Last 2 weeks, we haven't had a single touchdown in Thursday Night Football. What the fuck is that? Getting into the Saturday action, we had 2 good games. We're going to first talk about the Broncos and the Bengals. Joe Burrow throws a 3-yard touchdown pass to T. Higgins in overtime as the Bengals beat the Broncos by 6 points. This time, near the very end of a mostly agonizing season, the Cleveland Bengals made enough plays to win, and they're still in it. They're still in the playoff race going into the final week of the season. Obviously, there's a lot of stipulations to it. There's a lot of conditions that kind of have to happen. Shout out to T. fucking Higgins, man. Y'all need to pay that man. Y'all need to extend him. Obviously, he's had some troubles with the organization, concerning how much he gets the ball and stuff like that. I knew this was going to be a good game. It was great. Bo Nix versus Joe Burrow. That's pretty awesome, honestly. Like 2 quarterbacks over the last decade who took over college football at some point. Bo Nix, 24 for 31. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception. And when you're playing a guy that I think should be an MVP candidate, probably won't be, and Joe Burrow, who doesn't make mistakes, you can't afford those picks. But Joe Burrow, 39 for 49, 412 yards, 3 touchdowns. This guy is putting up a stellar season and isn't even going to be considered an MVP candidate. And this is one of the best non-MVP performances from a quarterback of all time. Probably is the best. I'm being honest here. Shout out to Jordan McLaughlin for the Broncos. He had 10 carries for 69 yards. Marvin Mims, he's going to be a fucking beast. He's a guy I'm going to look at in fantasy next year. He had 8 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns, huge plays. T. Higgins, insane performance, 11 catches, 131 yards, and he had the hat trick, 3 touchdowns. This game was fucking insane. Next up, the late night game from that day, getting into Cardinals-Rams. Again, not a very good game, not a very good offensive game or anything, but super competitive. We have to talk about it. There were a lot of stipulations surrounding it for the Rams as well. Kello Witherspoon makes the last-minute interception to preserve the Rams' 4-point win over Arizona. The Los Angeles Rams spent the entire second half struggling on offense while bending just enough on defense to preserve a tiny lead. Some unlikely candidates, Kello Witherspoon, that might be his first career interception. That was fucking crazy. Just kind of looking at things, this was a simple enough game that I don't need to talk about it super in-depth. I think the Rams are still in the playoffs. I would assume so. 10-6. I think they're winning their division. They're competing with the Seahawks, so obviously the Seahawks need the Rams to lose and for them to win. That whole situation. Matthew Stafford, 17 for 32. He threw 189 yards. You get Kyler Murray going 33 for 48. He threw for a touchdown, but 2 interceptions, especially that late one, directly kind of lost them the game. Yeah, I think they have Michael Carter. Yeah, Michael Carter. 13 carries, 70 yards. Good game for him. Trey McBride, one of the best tight ends in the league and one of the more underrated ones as well. 12 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. And a good game for Puka Nacua as well. 10 catches, 129 yards. Another dope receiver battle. It's tight end. You get what I mean. Here we go. We have Sunday action. We are going to start with my Packers and Vikings. Unfortunately, we didn't get the victory. That would have been awesome. It obviously would have been great to clinch that spot over the Commanders, but now we might have to play the Eagles. That's unfortunate. Sam Darnold gives the Vikings another gem with a career-high 377 yards and a 2-point win over the Packers. Shout out to Sam Darnold. Very fair play. He's an amazing quarterback in this league. The Minnesota Vikings were ready to start their post-game ritual in honor of a 9th consecutive victory before realizing Sam Darnold was still missing. All that stuff happened. Justin Jefferson, insane fucking catch. Obviously, it was wiped away with the penalty, but dude, just watching Justin Jefferson out there making plays, he's fucking incredible. Malik Heath had a touchdown. Obviously, we were missing some guys. Christian Watson got hurt, and then you get Dontavian Wicks getting hurt. It was very unfortunate. I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game. I still think we played pretty decent, but you get the celebration after the fumble recovery. The High School Musical obviously kind of pisses me off because it comes against us, but Cam Akers got a touchdown over Aaron Jones. That's kind of crazy. Josh Jacobs scores a rushing touchdown for the 7th straight game. I mean, I've been telling people this. Josh Jacobs is probably our best, if not one of our best running backs of all time. He's fucking incredible. Jordan Love threw 19 for 30, though. He threw for a touchdown. Pretty lackluster in the first half. He came out in the second half, played pretty good, though. Sam Darnold, 33 for 43, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw an interception. You have Justin Jefferson out there who had 8 catches for 92 yards. Not much you can complain about. You can complain about Josh Jacobs got in the end zone, and that's really about it for that game. Really good division battle. 3 more games to go. Here we go. Titans and Jaguars. Obviously 2 teams that are eliminated from the playoffs, but again, any competitive game we will talk about. Rookie Brian Thomas Jr., and also we have to talk about him. Scores again. The Jaguars beat the Titans by 7 for a rare series sweep. Rarely does that happen. The Titans have had the Jaguars number for years now. Whoever ends up coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars next season, receiver Brian Thomas Jr. will be the team's most dynamic rebuilding piece. They can try Mac Jones at quarterback maybe a little bit more. Maybe try Trevor Lawrence some more. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence isn't a bad quarterback. Jacksonville is definitely in a weird spot, though. But hey, they have Brian Thomas Jr., another elite LSU wide receiver. Talking about the performances, though, this wasn't much of a game. I know they're eliminated, so why would I care too much? I know. Mason Rudolph, 19 for 31. He threw 193 yards and a touchdown. He did throw a pick, though, and honestly, Mac Jones has been playing satisfactory. He obviously hasn't been incredible. He obviously hasn't had breakout games, but he threw 15 for 22, 174 yards and 2 touchdowns, just keeping it simple. And 7 receptions, 91 yards in it, and one of those touchdowns went to Brian Thomas Jr., who's battling with Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley had a good game as well. 5 catches, 84 yards. We know Calvin Ridley to be a pretty incredible receiver, too. So there you go. Falcons, Commanders, it's very frustrating to see. There were 2 games here, these last 2, that I was frustrated to see the results on. I really wanted the Falcons to win this game for our playoff chances, but Jaden Daniels dazzles again. The Commanders clinch a playoff spot. They beat the Falcons by 6 in overtime. Now, really, the only battle is between the Seahawks and the Bucks, I think it is. Jaden Daniels felt tired from a game that went well past 60 minutes, tired from running all over the field for the better part of 3+ hours, but he thugged it the fuck out, and that's what greatness is made out of. That is a rookie going out there and doing that, which is absolutely incredible to me. They clinched the spot. Absolute dart to Ertz in overtime to win the game. Just a clutch gene in that man early in his career. It's quite incredible. Falcons had a late field goal. It fell short. They went to overtime. Again, very frustrating loss for the Falcons. I think they're eliminated from the playoffs at this point. They make up for a massive botch snap with a clutch tying touchdown, though. Kyle Pitts had one of the biggest plays he's had all season, but to no avail. Chris Rodriguez Jr. was making defenders miss, and so many unlikely candidates for the Commanders, and this is an unlikely team to be successful. Shout out to Zach Ertz. This point in his career, to be able to maintain this good of a performance, it's awesome. Looking at passing, I think the Falcons have decent hope in Michael Penix. 19 for 35, 223 yards and a touchdown. He threw a pick. That's not a huge problem. Jaden Daniels did too. Jaden Daniels, 24 for 36. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He had a pick. But, Jaden Daniels, dude, holy fucking shit. 16 carries, 127 yards. And obviously, you get Bijan Robinson, 17 carries, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns, having a great season. He's going to be great in this league. Drake London had 7 catches for 106 yards, and another good game for Zacchaeus. 8 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown. So the Commanders, when they don't have Terry McLaurin out there balling out, they have another guy to rely on. Here we go. Last game we're going to talk about of the week. We have the Lions and the 49ers. The Lions beat the 49ers by 6 in a tune-up for the Week 18 division showdown. Obviously, that's what it's all weighing on. That's going to be one of the more hyped-up matchups of next week, and hopefully we get to talk about it on the channel between the Lions and the Vikings. The big prizes for the Detroit Lions remain on the horizon, with the team seeking a division title, the top seed in the NFC playoffs, and the franchise's first Super Bowl trip. Part of me wants to root for the Lions just because of NFL history, but some things that happened really pissed me off. Obviously, the trick play touchdown with Dan Campbell and everyone just hyping him the fuck up. I'm not going to be a hater here, and, them being soft as fuck over Juwan Jennings simply throwing a block. Jahmyr Gibbs had a nasty touchdown run, 40 points. This is just an offensive onslaught every fucking game, it seems, with the Detroit Lions. Defense turned to offense. Brock Purdy played really good to start the game, and then I don't know what the hell happened. Debo got a touchdown, so that was pretty awesome. Sam Laporta catching the ball, making plays as a young tight end in the league. It's awesome. You look at things, Jared Goff, insane game, 26 for 34, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. You get Brock Purdy, pretty good game. 27 for 35, 377 yards, 3 touchdowns. This looked like a vintage last season, Brock Purdy game until he threw 2 picks, which kind of cost them some things. Jahmyr Gibbs, fantastic game, 18 carries, 117 yards and a touchdown. Jameson Williams had 5 catches for 77 yards and a touchdown. And boy, oh boy, the man that everyone is rooting for in the NFL, we have Ricky Pearsall, dude. 8 catches, 141 yards and a touchdown. That's incredible. But that's going to do it for the games. There you have it, boys. I will see you next week for week 18. Playoffs tickets are going to be punched. We're going to have all the teams clinching. It's going to be a very exciting time. Every single close game. There were a lot of blowouts on Sunday that I didn't feel the need to talk about. So we just kind of talked about the close games, just kind of wrapped it up here shortly in a short format. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to release this video. I'm probably going to stream for New Year's. You're obviously going to see this probably New Year's Day. I don't know if I'm going to get it out New Year's Eve. We're going to stream. We're going to do a countdown. We're going to do all that stuff. It's going to be fun. I do have a sore throat. I'm probably not going to be as energetic though. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy GZTV. By the end of the week, I hope to get maybe a Penguin episode review as well as this video, and maybe go through some of the Deadpool franchise, because we've only touched on one of those movies, so we got to get to the other ones. Ashton Jeanty plays football tonight for Boise State, so I'm going to check that out. We have basketball recaps every night, so cool.